like this now. So I was given medicine by force. In the spoon, the two men will cash in, and my mother take me on the lap and then force medicine. I never agreed to take any medicine.
Should we do that now, Srila Prabhupada?
Then he'll kill me.
And another peculiar element. What is that? Peculiar element. Jiva Mahabharata. That is the giving me. We are all living. So we are superior element. We are exploiting the material resources that we have and only superior element who are satisfactory. So we belong to the superior element. Well, at the present moment, we are engaged in the activities of material energy. Just like we are economics, mathematics, science, all. That means all our engagements are within this material energy. In psychology, mental speculator, philosopher, or vegetarian. But that is not our superior engagement. Superior engagement. The way superior engagement who remain engaged in devotional study, the whole bhakti of it. Bhakti means devotion. When you understand the abhokal, the supreme, captain soul, then you understand our soul. They are part and parcel of going from God from again, part and parcel. Just like this finger is a part and parcel of my body. So, the finger's business is to carry out or to see the comfort of the body. I want to live. I must live. And if the finger cannot help me, then it is disease. Similarly, we are part and parcel of God. If we cannot help God,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Vande Hare Krishna, Krishna Dandadas.
Dandadas. Sarvajit.
Sarvajit.
Sarvabhit. Yes.
Raju.
All of Radha Krishna. Masters, but one the Christ, God is also eternal. We are living beings, God is also living being. But He is the chief living being. He is the chief eternal. We are also eternal, but we are not chief. Why? Ego je bahulam vidadati tam. And just like we require a leader, similarly, He is the supreme leader. He is maintainer. He is provident. He is providing everyone's necessities. We can see that there are elephants in Africa. Who is providing them food? There are millions of ants within the whole of your room. Who is feeding them? He is already supplying the necessities, but then why shall I bother him for supplying the necessities? He is already supplying, without asking. The ants and the elephants, they do not go to the church for asking God, oh, give us our daily bread, but still they are getting. We require these things, and God has created. He has given us enough. Purnameva, Purnamada, Purna, Purnam Gacchate. Everything is complete. Ishavashamidam Sadmam. Everything is completely arranged by the Supreme Lord. Tatena Taktena Bundita. So we should be cognizant how we are benefited by the Supreme Personality of Godhead and what is our duty. Perfect. He doesn't require our service. But if we are engaged in His service, that is our healthy condition. Just like this finger is part and parcel of my body. Now I am asking this finger, skip like this, move like this. This is healthy condition of the finger. But if I want to take service from the finger in some way, but if the finger cannot serve it, this means unhealthy condition. Similarly, when we do not serve God, that is our unhealthy condition. That is material condition. Therefore, there was a big meeting in Naimisharanya.
But my opinion is that where Krishna and Arjuna are present, there will be all good fortune. He directly confirmed that Dhritarashtra could not expect victory for his side. Victory was certain for the side of Arjuna because Krishna was there. Krishna's acceptance of the post of charioteer for Arjuna was an exhibition of another opulence. Krishna is full of all opulencies, and renunciation is one of them. There are many instances of such renunciation, for Krishna is the master of renunciation. The fight was actually between Duryodhana and Yudhishthira. Arjuna was fighting on behalf of his elder brother, Yudhishthira. Because Krishna and Arjuna were on the side of Yudhishthira, Yudhishthira's victory was certain. The battle was to decide who would rule the world, and Sanjaya predicted that the power would be transferred to Yudhishthira. It is also predicted here that Yudhishthira, after gaining victory in this battle, would flourish more and more, because he was not only righteous and pious, but he was a strict moralist. He never spoke a lie during his life. There are many less intelligent persons who take Bhagavad Gita to be a discussion of topics between two friends in a battlefield. But such a book cannot be scripture. Some may protest that Krishna incited Arjuna to fight, which is immoral, but the reality of the situation is clearly stated. Bhagavad Gita is the supreme instruction in morality. The supreme instruction of morality is stated in the 9th chapter, in the 34th verse. Manmana bhavamad bhakta. One must become a devotee of Krishna, and the essence of all religion is to surrender unto Krishna. As stated, Sarvadharman. The instructions of Bhagavad Gita constitute the supreme process of religion and of morality. All other processes may be purifying and may lead to this process, but the last instruction of the Gita is the last word in all morality and religion. Surrender unto Krishna. This is the verdict of the 18th chapter. From the Bhagavad Gita, we can understand that to realize oneself by philosophical speculation and by meditation is one process, but to fully surrender unto Krishna is the highest platform, is the highest perfection. This is the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. The path of regulative principles, according to the orders of social life, and according to the different courses of religion, may be a confidential path of knowledge, in as far as the rituals of religion are confidential, but one is still involved with meditation and cultivation of knowledge. Surrender unto Krishna in devotional service, in full Krishna consciousness, is the most confidential instruction and is the essence of the 18th chapter.
Produce food. Annam bhavati sudha. So I see in your this Mauritius land, you have got enough land to produce food there. You will produce food there. I understand that instead of growing food grain, you are growing sugar cane for exporting. Why? And you are dependent on food grains, rice, wheat, dal. Why? Why this happen? You first of all grow your own eatable. And if there is time and if your population has got sufficient food grain, then you can try to grow other fruits and vegetables for exporting. The first necessity is that you should be self-sufficient. That is God's arrangement. Everywhere there is sufficient land to produce food. Not only in your country, I have traveled all over the world, Africa, Australia, and other America also. There is so much land taken that if we produce food grain, then we can feed 10 times as much population as exists in the moment. There is no question of scarcity. About the human form of life. Now, by our pious activities, we may be elevated to the higher planetary system, Sargolo, heavenly planet. But what we shall gain there? The same sense gratification in a higher standard. Just like sense gratification is there in the society of the cats and dogs, sense gratification is there in one country, in another country, but the arrangement is maybe little different. But the place.
Welcome to Africa.
Guy walks by in front of us.
behalf of the people of Mauritius to this island, and hope you will enjoy your short stay here. And Swamiji, how long are you going to stay here?
The program is 1 week.
1 week. Have you got any special program? You are going for lectures or?
I do not know what they have arranged. But my secretary said that it will go on.
Had you had any idea of Mauritius before you came here? Do you know anything about
my
it?
idea is to preach Krishna consciousness, because for want of this knowledge, our mission of human life is failing all over the world. Therefore, I am trying to introduce this Krishna consciousness all over the world without any distinction of caste, creed, color. God is for everyone. And we have forgotten our relationship with God. Therefore, we are suffering in so many ways. And His instruction is there in the Bhagavad Gita. If we follow, then we become happy. And the progress have to die quickly. This is the progress. At any moment he can die. As soon as he is on the car, 70 miles speed, then he is taking the risk of dying at any moment. This is the problem. Village to another. That was primitive. Now we can go 100 miles away from home for earning money and taking risk to die at any moment. That is progress. Is it not?
Oh, yes.
Formerly they are satisfied by tilling the ground, getting food grains. Now they have started factories at the cost of thousands of men's labor, some directors getting money and enjoying life. That is problem. And these rascals, laborers, they are thinking that this men are getting the profit cream of this business. We are working. Why not take ourselves? That is communism.
There is one.
And by taking, when he is cured, he will find out it is very sweet.
So then he has to recognize that there's some problem in this, living in this material world.
No, he does not find any happiness on account of his too much materialistic mind.
That is the disease.
That is the disease.
So actually the
So
more
it has to be cured by this Bhakti Yoga. So in the Bhakti Yoga, in the beginning, it will taste bitter. Therefore they do not come. But if they take to be Bhakti Yoga, then the material disease will be cured and they will find it very sweet.
Yes. So the more
protection from being hurt. Chat means hurting. So suppose if I unnecessarily hurt you, then It is the duty of the government to give you protection. So unless I am also punished by violence, he cannot give you protection. So this is also necessary. Therefore, in the society there must be Kshatriya. The Brahmanas should be learned, they should give instruction, advice. The Kshatriyas should give protection. The Vaishyas should produce economic development, and the rest they should assist Shudras. That's all. This
comes from many lamps.
But your preaching consists only from the Gita.
Yes, that is the supreme light. There are degrees of light. There is sunlight and there is this light. You cannot compare this light with the sunlight. Light comes from everywhere. But that does not mean the sunlight and this light is the same.
No,
First of all, you understand this. You have question about the light. First of all, you understand there are degrees of light. You cannot say this light and the sunlight is the same.
By this you mean that those who adapt to the life by the teachings coming from the Quran or from the Bible is
that is your business to study. But we give you the idea that light comes from everywhere. There is one glow one. That light also light. And the sunlight is also light. You cannot think that the glow one's light and the sunlight is the same. Now it is your business to see which is glow one light and which is sunlight. That is your business.
It has been
Connected with certain imperialistic countries.
Let them say all nonsense. What can I say? Every nonsense will speak something nonsense. How can I check it? There are so many nonsenses. Therefore, we are trying to make all this nonsense into human being. That is our program. So long he is on nonsense, he will go on speaking nonsense. What can I do?
Swamiji, one thing I want to know. This slope, from where you have quoted this slope, Lavanam Kesnaranam. This slope,
Yes, it is in the 3rd chapter of 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Have you got all the Bhagavatas? 12 canto? So you can note it. There are many things. There Dampatti Ratimevahi. Intelligent. Simply one can understand what is the difference between the dead body and the living body. Living body means there is the soul. A dead body means there is no more soul. Janati tattva tapta deham punarjanma naimi mameti tom. The solution is there. You try to understand Krishna, then he'll have not to accept any more material body. Simple thing. He is greater than the greatest, and smaller than the smallest. I find that night small things that he has got all the electronic framework. That is small thing. done jolly. There is also Nam Tarasthan Paramanusaya. Krishna is using their power. Very good. Knowledge, philosophy, logic. You want to study Krishna? So many books. You cannot finish even within your life. Study. Already published 60 books. Brahma and Parabrahma. Krishna is Parabrahma. To study Brahman. We are all Brahmas, but Krishna is Parabrahma.
Do you think, Swamiji, that man can become perfect?
Oh, yes. That is the chance of a human being. Therefore, in the human society, there is school, college, education, culture. Not in the animal society. Because they can be made into perfect, not the animals. So if they are denied proper education, that is the greatest harm. They got the opportunity and the authorities are not giving them the opportunity.
No, but do you mean the perfectness is to become the God or to become the man?
Right.
Then I want
You cannot become God.
What perfectness means?
Perfect means to become godly.
Can you indulge directly into politics? Can you be indulged directly into politics?
Yeah, no. Krishna was in politics. So he instructed Arjuna to fight. This is politics for the good cause.
Svajyam Akirti Karam Arjuna. The Supreme Person, Bhagavan, said, "My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the progressive values of life. They do not lead to higher planets, but to infamy."
Purport.
Purport. Krishna and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical. Therefore, Lord Krishna is referred to as Bhagavan throughout the Gita. Bhagavan is the ultimate in the Absolute Truth. Absolute Truth is realized in three phases of understanding, namely Brahman, or the impersonal, all-pervasive spirit, Paramatma, or the localized aspect of the Supreme within the heart of all living entities, and Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, this conception of the Absolute Truth is explained thus: Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam dhameti paramatmeti bhavaniti shabdyate. The Absolute Truth is realized in three phases of understanding by the knower of the Absolute Truth, and all of them are identical. Such phases of the Absolute Truth are expressed as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 2nd Chapter, 11th Verse. These three divine aspects can be explained by the example of the sun, which also has three different aspects.
Because the body is born in America, therefore he is thinking America. The body is born in India, therefore he is thinking India. The body is born in Hindu family, they will think in Hindu. So, this is the, here not be any standard civilization. So this Krishna consciousness movement means we are trying to eradicate this conception of life, bodily conception of life. Animals, an animal, he is also thinking, I am dog, I am cat, I am cow, I am ass, on account of this bodily concept of life. And if we, human beings, we also remain in that bodily concept of life, then we are no better than the animals. We also depend. So if we remain engaged only on the principles of food, demands of body, then we remain animals. Our extra education requires that I am not this body, I am spirit soul, and there is necessity of the soul. If we don't come to this platform, then we remain animals.
Striving for peace in the world, is it one of your goals?
Yes. Everyone is trying for peace in the world. I have already referred to the United Nations organization. They are also trying peace of the world. But one must know the right way how to bring peace in the world.
Movement has a great faith in Bhagavad Gita, and Gita is the result of the war. How do you explain it?
The war is also necessary. When there are demons, they should be punished. But we must know who is demon and who is not demon. Just like any good state, just like our Indian state, accepting that we attain our independence by Mahatma Gandhi's non-violent movement. But do you think that India is keeping non-violent?
Ya priyachate, that one can offer to me with love and devotion a flower, leaf. In this way he mentions vegetarian items. He never says offer me meat. So a bhakta or a devotee, he eats prasadam, which means the remnants of the offering to Krishna. So he offers Krishna very nice things of halava and rasgulla and sandesh and puri and so many kachoris, so many samosas, so many nice things. Neither do we find the necessity to slaughter the animal and eat the flesh. We don't find need for that. Although we have been ourselves brought up in such a culture, we find after taking to this process that we lose our taste for these things. We no longer require, in fact we even shun it. If someone should offer something with meat, we will reject it immediately.
We do not take any meals in the airplane. We take our meals with us. Although we pay for that, first class,
Yes.
but still we do not. They offer and give us some fruit, that's all.
Coming here on Air India, the stewardess was very surprised why we weren't, they had so much and nice elaborate meals prepared, but we don't take these things.
We go. Nobody is interested in the spiritual life. Therefore, no customer is coming. We go to sell our goods there.
Have you had a significant impact on the American society?
What is that?
What is that?
Have you had a significant impact on the American society? The values you preach, have they influenced Americans to a certain degree?
Oh yes. You can go in America, any country, any city, and everyone will know Hare Krishna. We're getting...
That's not what I mean. What I mean is, have Americans started to be less violent, for instance? Or have they started to be less egoistical? Or have they started to be less...
Well, not unless they follow our movement. But those who have followed our movement, recently there was one study that was published by a very eminent sociologist in America from the University of California, the Union Theological Center. And he stated in that book that the members of this movement, formerly they were drug-addicted hippies, and now they have become servants of Krishna and humanity, loving servants. So he has given proof through intensive interviews that one who joins this movement, he dramatically his life becomes changed.
He's a big professor, and his books are being sold in a higher circle. Professor Judah.
Is the Ramakrishna movement related to the Srila movement?
What is that?
The movement of Swami Shivananda.
Divine Life Society.
The Divine Life Society.
I do not know anyone's movement. We are pushing on our movement on the basis of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's movement. Therefore, we have named Krishna consciousness. So if you know about the Bhagavad Gita, then talk on that. Don't bring anyone else.
Bhagavan Krishna had mentioned that Swadharmam Nidhanam Shreya. But I want to know why you are creating a class of sannyasis like these people to bar their work.
That is your ignorance. You do not know what is Swadharma. Swadharma, according to Bhagavad Gita, Swadharma means Varnashram Dharma. 4 varnas and 4 ashrama. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. These are 4 varnas. And 4 ashramas means Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. So, our Indian culture means Varnashram Dharma. Varnashramacharvata Purushena Parapama Vishnu Aradhate Pungsha. It is a systematic way of social and spiritual life, this Varnashrama. So unless one comes to this system of life, he is not a human being, he is an animal.
Primary form of income is through the sale of books. Srila Prabhupada has written almost 60 books, 400 pages each. These books are published by the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, which has headquarters in Los Angeles, London, and Bombay. And London, Los Angeles, and New York. So the amount of literature is quite large. First of all, we have our Back to Godhead magazine, a monthly magazine that is now being published, 1 million copies per month. And then of the books,
What is the sale per month?
the sale of the month is $250,000 per month, approximately between 3 and 3:30 in the morning. And we take morning bath and put tilak on the body, 12 different places. Then we have Mangal Arti. We worship the deity. Here we have the deity of Gaur Nitai, our other temples, we have Radha Krishna. And after Mangal Arti, then we perform the japa meditation. And we chant at least 16 rounds on the japa beads daily. That takes approximately 2 hours of time. Then we have our classes. We have classes in Srimad Bhagavatam, which is 12 cantos in length, 18,000 verses, and which has been given by Srila Prabhupada with very elaborate purports for each verse. So each day, one verse is very carefully studied and analyzed and understood. Then we have our prasadam. We are vegetarians. We do not take any meat, fish, or eggs. And then afterwards we have our morning duties. We have so many different activities, work. And this way the day is spent up until approximately 10 o'clock at night when we take our rest.
When the children in Dallas,
We have our Gurukul school in Dallas, where we have the children of our householders. The children are sent there at the age of 5, and there they are taught in association with other children these principles of Krishna consciousness. They are trained. They are trained in English and Sanskrit. They are trained in cleanliness, to be as Brahmins, to be the leaders of society. This is the present need of the modern civilization, that there is no Brahmin class. And by Brahmin class we don't mean those who are born Brahmins, but those who are qualified as Brahmins. At the present moment, Brahmin simply means that one has been born a Brahmin, but that doesn't make one a qualified Brahmin. Just like if my father is a high court judge, that doesn't mean that I am a high court judge. I also have to go to the university and take training and be recognized by the bar. So at the present moment, there is no institution that is actually training Brahmins. And without the Brahmins are meant to be the leaders of society. As Srila Prabhupada mentioned, the Varnashram system, the leaders of that system are the Brahmins. And now we see in the modern civilization there is no one who...
Thank you very much, Swamiji, and hope that your stay will be very fruitful after a long and arduous work that you have been doing throughout the world. We hope that you will be...
I want to see the leading man
Yes.
of this place, because if they understand the importance of this movement, then my mission is successful.
We will have the opportunity of saying.
Yes. Jad acharati shrestha tattadeva itareja.
Yes.
Bhagavad Gita is saying.
Yes.
The leaders,
Yes.
whatever they do,
Yes.
the ordinary common man follows.
Follow suit. That's fine. Yes.
So, if leading men of Mauritius, if they understand the importance of this movement, then I am sure it will be very much beneficial for everyone.
For you. Yes. So thank you very much, Swamiji, on behalf of the people of Mauritius, of all our friends, and the MBC TV who have been very kind enough. Here you have the chairman here, and we are very grateful to you.
The whole world is under the bodily concept of life. Even big nations, just like your Prime Minister has gone to the United Nations, there are many big men in the United Nations. They will speak, and they are speaking for the last 30 years. The United Nations is formed, but they could not find any solution of the problems of life. because the basic principle they are losing. They do not know. Every one of them is thinking on the bodily platform. I am Indian, I am American, I am German, and I am Englishman, like that. Therefore there is no solution, because the basic principle is wrong. Unless we understand what is the wrong on the active principle of the body, the problem cannot be solved. Especially if you cannot diagnose the disease simply by symptomatic treatment, he cannot make the gambling, no income. This is materialistic way of life. Otherwise, what is the difference between this life and that life? So, if we stick to the materialistic way of life, it will be very, very difficult to understand this Krishna consciousness movement. Matinna Krishna Padase Sattula Mitho Vipadvita Vihatmitana. Why? Adanta Govi. Adanta means uncontrolled. Uncontrolled. Our senses are uncontrolled. This morning, while I was walking on the beach, we found so many things. The capsule of the Coca-Cola, and cigarette butts, and so many other things. So, what is the necessity of this Coca-Cola? You don't find all these things in our society. We don't drink Coca-Cola. We don't drink Pepsi-Cola. We don't smoke. So many things which are selling in the market in huge quantity by advertisement, by victimizing the poor customer. But they are called unnecessary. There is no need of such things. But Adhamtagodhi, because the senses cannot be controlled, they are making business. They are making business. Unnecessary. So we have to control the senses. If we really want spiritual life, if we really want to be free from this material pattern, then we have to learn how to control the senses. That is one.
That one. Red one?
Yes. That is also male. White children, they are also in there. You will get in any form of it. They are loitering on the without any home, with concern. Home. Therefore they are advanced. This is it. The business is the same, that's all life. But we are improved. This is it.